2014 Dodge Durango. Got a thermostat code. I'm going to go ahead and replace my thermostat. Basically what you want to do is get yourself something to catch all this coolant that's going to fall out. Make sure the car's been off a long time and the cooling system's being depressurized. You can take the cap off first if you want to know for sure. Wiggle this cover up, get this off. This has to come off, this little clamp, because we got to get this air duct off. You don't have to loosen that screw all the way, just loosen enough to where you could pull this off. Just get that off a little bit. You could also take the air filter box off if you want. And then you could pull this out. There's like a little spot for this little stud that goes right here, and you just wiggle this up and pull it out. But you need to release it also from over here, the throttle. So first get this sensor undone, and then loosen this clamp. Again, just loosen it. I found an 8mm socket's easier to get this one off than a screwdriver, unless you have like a short screwdriver. Just wiggle this off. This will just come off. It's actually not that hard to get off. Just put this over here with the engine cover. Now the thermostat is right here. It comes as a whole housing. It's this 10mm and then this 10mm. Simple enough. You got to take the hose off. The problem I see is the belt is going to get covered in coolant, so I'm going to try to cover it up, and I'm going to have a tray to catch the coolant. You don't want your belt getting drenched in coolant, so I took the bottom engine cover off. That way the coolant can fall in my tray, and yeah, I'm going to put my tray down there, it'll catch it, and then I try to put like a little piece of cover on my belt just to give it some protection. You could probably figure out something smarter, but anyways, so now I'm going to get this clamp off. Some pliers, squeeze the tabs. Coolant's already trying to come off. Again, make sure your system's depressurized. You could pop the cap to no. If you squeeze any hoses and they're super pressurized, then don't open the cooling system yet. Give it time to cool off. Go ahead and get this clamp back. Alright, you're going to pull this back all the way off. This little plastic pipe on this thermostat housing it's a little long, so you're gonna want to just wiggle this hose, and right when I get it off, I'm gonna pull it up so the coolant stops coming out of it, and I'm gonna secure it with a bungee, just like that. I went ahead and did it off camera. I just pulled it off, and I'm already getting coolant on my belt, which I didn't want to do. But yeah, I'm just gonna have that secured like that. Now I'm gonna get this 10mm and this 10mm off. This is a bleeder screw, I believe. So you don't need to worry about that right now. Just go ahead and get this 10mm off. I would recommend using like just a ratchet and just go slow with these bolts. I'm using this. I'm in a shop though, so if something breaks, like I got the resources to fix it. But if you're in your driveway or something, I would just recommend going real slow on these bolts. Take your time with them, because if these break off, then it's going to make your job a lot longer. Alright, so I'm going to wiggle this. This comes off. As you can see, the thermostat's inside of it. My little belt shield is actually doing an okay job for the moment. Make sure the gasket comes off with this housing. There's a gasket in here. It's like a little O-ring. And then we're going to clean this with like a rag or a paper towel or something. Make it smooth again. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at the new stuff. I got OEM coolant, and I got, this is concentrate, so I need to mix this with water, and I have an OEM thermostat housing. It comes as one. Here's my part number. They put tape all over these parts. I don't know why they taped it up so much. Okay, so I got it out. I made sure that bleeder valve is tight, and yeah, so that's what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and install it. I put a little tiny bit of lube on that O-ring gasket, just a tiny bit, just barely any on there, just because I don't want it to like get dry and you know, bind up or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and then get my 10mm bolts in. Obviously get them both started first before you tighten them down. I got the torque specs right here. That's so I don't get lit up in the comments for not torquing it or not showing the torque specs. There you go. I'll torque these off camera. Alright, so once you get these tight and torqued, we're going to go and put the hose back on. Just Just put it back on the way you took it off. It goes like that. And there's a little plastic, it's like a little notch, and you want to bring the hose all the way up to that little notch and then put your clamp back on, preferably right back in the grooves that the clamp originally made. Baby powder I use to just kind of condition the belt. It's like just like an old mechanic trick. If your belt gets squeaky from coolant, you could put some baby powder on it, and it helps it not be squeaky. And you know, fill your system back up, and then there you go, guys.